I'm live, and I'm looking for someone out there in the world to let me know that you can see and hear me, and that would be terrific. Let me get myself so I can look at myself because there's no one else to look at. All right, so we are here, what is it, January 22nd, 2023. I keep wanting to say 23 instead of 20. I keep wanting to stick something in that O.
/23.
Yeah. So, hello, Debbie Joy. So, you win another spiritual mind treatment by me. So let me know for what you would like me to do that work for you, and I will. So whoever else is there, just what I offer. Okay, Clee, you're the next one. So what I offer, just let me know, and I will do that treatment. No need to make an appointment. It's just bonus treatment, bonus spiritual prayer that you get. All right, so yay for you too. I agree. And hello, good morning, Margaret. That's really good too. Oh, all right. So that looks weird. All right, so Margaret, you win also, because somehow your name switched. So I don't know who was top, but there we go. All right, so we got that business taken care of, and it is time for another spiritual mind treatment right now. Okay? Okay, so this word is being spoken for each one, and if there is anyone or any place on the planet that you would like included, just think of that place now or that name of that person, and realize that the infinite mind knows what you mean. And it is the infinite mind that I'm using, so it's all included. They're all included. We're all included. So, recognizing this infinite mind, I recognize that it is intelligent. Intelligence beyond human understanding. Because it is an intelligence that is creating this entire universe and everything in it, and it is the intelligence that is supporting and maintaining this universe and everything in it. And it is maintaining everything in perfect harmony and balance with everything else. This is the way life is. Harmonious, balanced, in order, with intelligence at work. Always. There is no mistake that a planet makes. And so this intelligence is present on the macro level as well as the micro level, even within what the humans call an atom. There is balance, order, and harmony with constant movement. So with the macro and the micro and every place in between, that means each one also is produced by this intelligence, and that in the mind of God there is an intelligent functioning as a human being right here, right now, in this time, with this swarm of humanity around everyone in this world. There is an intelligent mind at work guiding each one into living this intelligent life. This is present right here and right now. And so any belief that one is not enough, or doesn't have enough, or needs to grow more, or learn more, or become more, or be open to more, or deserve more good in any way, it's all erased, evaporated, and vanished, because the infinite intelligence of this divine mind is fully here, right now, right where each one is. It is the mind each one is using. And in this mind, the intelligent functioning is knowing the way to move anyone from wherever he or she is to wherever he or she desires to go. So this intelligence is recognized, it is praised, it is appreciated, and it is used. Each one is now calling on this infinite intelligence to reveal to him or her the answer, the solution, the guidance, the path, the healing. This infinite intelligence can reveal that divine truth, the absolute truth that absolutely would demonstrate as a complete and total healing for anything anyone is experiencing. And each one is now calling on this infinite intelligence to reveal that truth that he or she can experience in knowing and accepting, understanding and embodying, manage to experience the fulfillment of healing, of good that is desired within each one's heart. This intelligence knows how to do it. And this intelligence is the great I am that I am. It withholds nothing. Any belief that God is not giving someone the information, or that somebody has to twist themselves into all kinds of shenanigans or manipulations in order to get some kind of wisdom, any belief that one needs to do even more spiritual practice in order to get this wisdom. It's all erased, evaporated, and vanished. This infinite intelligence is here now, and it gives itself away. It has no limits, no restrictions, no rules. It has no tests that someone needs to, or hoops that someone needs to jump through. This intelligence, all of it, is present here now, available to each one as much as the entire internet is available to each one, but even more. There's not even a password that's needed. So all unconscious or conscious belief that separates one from accessing and using this intelligence is erased, evaporated, and vanished. Any blockage to this intelligence is within the consciousness of one being, and that each one now, is that blockage is erased, evaporated, and vanished. Any belief that one is not smart, any belief that it's too much, all habit or pattern of disbelief, of overwhelm, of any belief that any idea is too much for one to handle, is all erased, evaporated, and vanished. The infinite intelligence of the divine knows how to deliver its wisdom, its knowing, its I amness in the perfect way for each one to accept, to use, to become, to believe, to express. And so each one is now calling on this infinite intelligence to guide him or her, to reveal what needs to be revealed, to reveal that truth that sets them free, to make it loud and clear what is the best next thought to think, what is the best next action to take for each one's experience and embracing of the highest and greatest good possible. And so there is no problem that this intelligence cannot solve. There is no question that this intelligence cannot answer. All is known to the great I am that I am, because it makes it all. And each one realizing that that great I am that I am is right where he or she is, and that in declaring I am, each one is speaking the name of the great I am that I am. In speaking I am, each one is synchronizing oneself with the great I am that I am. Each one realizes then that all intelligence is available. And so nothing is too small to be known. Nothing is too big. And each one now, daily, moment to momently, calls on this infinite intelligence for its wisdom, for its guidance, for its perfect knowing. And in receiving this, each one is knowing all is well. There is nothing to be afraid of. And that tremendous good is on its way into each one's experience. Using this intelligence, each one is claiming this greater good and claiming it here now. That even here and now, tremendous good is available. And each one is now claiming this good, being fully present, fully living in this eternal now, in this infinite here. Each one is receiving all the good that this infinite intelligence is knowing for itself as each one. And so this is good. Each one is healthier than ever before because each one is claiming I am health. Each one is more supported and wealthier than ever before, because each one is claiming, I am rich and blessed. Each one is having more wonderful relationships than ever before, because each one is claiming, I am loved, lovable, and loving. And each one is a blessing to the world right now, because each one is claiming, I am that I am, expressing in a unique and a valuable way. This is the truth. I'm grateful that this is the truth. I release this word to God's law. It's done. And so it is. Okay, all right. So we're here, and Reverend Rich is going to take us away. Take us away.
I am opening, my heart is ready to receive. I am opening, my heart is ready to receive. I am opening, my heart is ready to receive.
And so we take this moment to focus on our heart, on our own self, and give ourselves this gift of personal good, where our own heart's desire can be fulfilled. And so, turning within, we open to our greater good, and with that little extra demand, here and now, that there is no delay, that our good is here and now, and we are ready to receive it. We are open and ready to receive it now, and so it is.
I am opening, my heart is ready to receive. I am opening, my heart is ready to receive.
Good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Susan Niedt. I'm a practitioner here at the center. We are a loving, healing, inclusive community that teaches and practices the principles of the science of mind for the spiritual growth and well-being of ourselves and the world. I love saying that because it's true. We have a few announcements. We have 3 great upcoming special Sundays, January, February, and March. Next weekend is Self-Appreciation Sunday, spearheaded by John Heron, a practitioner here. A series of exercises, spiritual practices, and readings to strengthen our connection to the love that is our source. And there will be beverages and some yummy breakfast foods. Not like eggs, like muffins. So I thought I should clarify that. Eat before you come. Maybe not. It is not live, and it will begin at 10:30. And then the following February, on the 12th, Miss Stephanie Lackenauer, another wonderful practitioner here, will be spearheading us into making a vision board. I'm sure there will be some spiritual practices there like mindfulness meditation, because she is a mindfulness expert as well. And then in March, we're going to have a lovely special Sunday led by Deja, another practitioner here, which is about beauty with a capital B, and we're going to kind of dig into the concept of beauty and also create some things to beautify our space. So we will be nurturing our creative spirit. Isn't that fun? I mean, these just sound so yummy, speaking of yummy. And then this Wednesday evening, we have another meditation from 7:30 to 8 o'clock, and last week's was yummy. That seems to be the word, yummy with a capital Y. So looking forward to seeing you. That's on Zoom, and the Zoom link is the same as the last one, and that is on the Facebook page. So, speaking of good, thank you, Reverend Karen, because everything she said in her treatment was what I was going to talk about.
Oh.
I love it, and, but I'm open to receive new ideas right here as I stand. I am blessed to be taking a workshop right now called Unveiling Your Hidden Power, based on the metaphysics of Emma Curtis Hopkins, which is all about receiving your good. And in chapter 2, something just hit me over the head. You read this and you've heard it before, and then something hits you over the head. So I'm going to start with the concept of there is no apartness, right? We are all one. God is omnipresent. God is everywhere. There is no apartness. So then Emma says, or actually it's Ruth L. Miller, PhD, who wrote the book. She sort of put it into easier to understand terms. People rarely talk about the idea of where their good is, while they frequently talk about the idea of good being absent. They remain silent on the fundamental truth, the statement of being, that good is here and now, as Reverend Karen said. And this is the part that knocked me over the head. A belief in absence may clothe itself in many forms. For some, a belief in the absence of good takes the form of being grateful that they are so blessed more than others. But there is no possibility of being blessed more than others. And I thought how sometimes I'm working on a little physical issue, not a big deal, but I say, well, at least I'm not like I don't have the C word, or, I actually say I'm so grateful that this is all there is when other people are suffering. Whoa! I don't know if you do that. You find yourself doing that, especially like when you're doing your gratitude work. Whoa! In fact, it made me think of Joel Goldsmith. He often says, maybe other metaphysicians do as well, and mystics, holding people in bondage by thinking that of them. We're all practitioners here. We have to hold the high watch instead of thinking that that's true. Anyway, I find myself doing that, and so I was glad that I read this. Others are flattered by being told how much more they know than another. Now, come on, let's face it. Somebody says to you, I'm so grateful you're the best salesperson we have. Well, they're just affirming that the other salespeople aren't good. And then they're affirming that there isn't oneness. I just sat with this, and I just started thinking of all these little things that I say unmindfully. So I was hoping that this would give you some presence of mind to think about these little ways that you actually accept absence of good, even though it's not about you. So I will end with a quote by Emma. Our good is omnipresent, everywhere present, all the time, for everybody. God, our good, is spirit. I love this next sentence. Spirit is free, untrammeled, unhindered, irresistible, here and now. To say that compels me to say there is no delay. I believe Karen used those exact words. There is no delay in the way my good comes to me. I need not wait. So here we are. We're ready to hear what Reverend Karen has to say about letting the good in. So excited. Anyway, thank you. You're up, Reverend Rich.
Thank you, Susan.
You're welcome.
Oh, that Emma, huh?
All that, Emma.
Maybe something else. So, I sing this song every time there's one of these sad events. And it's such a good way to, Reverend Christy Snow wrote this tune. And it's such a good way to think about these things and a good response to them. So it's I Stand in Love. There's a place that we can go to, whatever race or creed. A place that we can go to together, you and me. The place that we can go to, stand in unity, hand in hand together, for all the world to see. That place is love. That place is love. That place is love. In the consciousness of our hearts, we stand in love. Now is the time we have to make a choice, to go to fear or hatred, or give love a voice. Now is the time to stand in our belief, to hold in our minds just what we want to see. I stand in love. I stand in love. I stand in love. The consciousness of my heart, I stand in love. Now I truly believe that we are all one. We can't afford the carelessness of giving hate a gun. I stand in love. I stand in love. I stand in love. In the consciousness of my heart, I stand in love. Everybody can join me in this one. We stand in love. We stand in love. We stand in love. In the consciousness of our hearts. In the consciousness of our hearts. In the consciousness of our hearts, we stand in love.
Thank you, Reverend Rich.
Hey, Mary.
Good morning. My name is Mary, and I'm a practitioner here at the center. So, we often say, where attention goes, energy flows, right? So, I started thinking about that, and I was like, but energy is everywhere all the time. And then I came across this passage. I was reading Becoming Supernatural by Dr. Joe Dispenza. And he's talking about the unified field. And he says, researchers soon discovered that the electrons that move around in that vast field behave in a completely unpredictable manner. They don't appear to be subject to the same laws that govern matter in our larger universe. They are here in one moment and gone the next. And it's impossible to predict where and when the electrons will appear. That's because, as the researchers eventually discovered, the electrons exist simultaneously in infinite numbers of possibilities and probabilities. It is only when an observer forces his or her attention and looks for something, material, that invisible field of energy and information collapses into a particle we know as an electron. That is called collapsing the wave function or quantum event. But as soon as the observer looks away, no longer observing the electron, and taking his or her mind off the subatomic matter, it disappears back into energy. In other words, that particle of physical matter, the electron, can't exist unless we observe it, give it our attention. And the moment we're no longer putting our attention on it, it turns back into energy, specifically an energetic frequency, which scientists call a wave, and into possibility. In this way, mind and matter are related in the quantum. By the way, just as we, as a subjective consciousness, are observing the electron into form, there's an objective universal consciousness that is constantly observing all of us in our three-dimensional reality into order and form as well. As we say, when we observe something, we put our focus on something, we can collapse the energy and bring it into form. And I was thinking, I want to bring into my life some of the qualities of the divine. Peace, harmony, joy. But where do I focus to bring that in? And so I developed a little exercise for myself, which I'm going to invite all of you to participate with me this morning. And so for this exercise, we're going to focus on joy. Joy because it's my exercise and that's what I want. So, so we're going to take joy, the idea of joy, not joy from eating an ice cream cone on a hot Sunday afternoon or holding a baby or hiking on a mountain ridge. We're going to take divine joy that exists everywhere and is potentially always here, right? It is always here. So we're going to take that idea and we're going to put it in our brains. And we'll put it in very specific spots so everybody knows. So if you draw a line behind your ear, straight through your head, right, that one, and you draw another line at the back of your head, straight through the front, where those two lines intersect is where we're going to focus, where we're going to put joy. Okay? So I invite you, if it's safe to do so, to close your eyes. Take a couple of cleansing breaths. Allow your body to relax. And now, bring the idea of joy to place it in your brain at the back of your head. Focus your attention on that spot where joy now exists. Focus knowing it's there. It is always there. You focus on that, feel it expanding in your life. Now, keeping your attention on that spot, open your eyes. Still focusing on that spot where joy is. Now, did you feel something in your body shift? Maybe your facial expression. Maybe you started to smile. Right? There. So now, I invite you to focus on my finger. When you focus on my finger, did you feel your body shift? Maybe you stopped smiling. Now, put your attention back on that spot in your brain where you put joy. And does feeling come back in your body that you had before? So know that you can put anything you want to bring into your life. If you want a focus point, you can provide that focus point anywhere. And it can be for love, for peace, for joy, for abundance, whatever you want to call in that you need a place to focus on. You can put it in your brain, you can put it in your little toe, you can put it above your head, you can put it in the doorknob, wherever you want to focus your attention. Because once you focus your attention there, you collapse the field and you start to bring it into existence in your experience. And so it is there for you. Right? And you can always call it forth. And you can do it with your eyes open. You can do it with your eyes closed. You can do it when you're in the middle of an argument and focus on joy and see how that shifts. Right? So joy is always there. The divine qualities are always with us. They are ever present. And infinite possibilities of how they show up. And we can bring them into being simply by focusing on what we want in our lives. So I'm going to end with a spiritual mind treatment. So this word is spoken for each one. There is a field of infinite possibilities that exists everywhere in everything, outside of time, outside of space. It is love, it is life, it is light, it's power and joy and beauty and harmony. It is the infinite, the divine, what we may call God. And it is always present, ever present. And each one is a representation of this infinite oneness. And each one can call on each of these properties to bring it forth in greater gratitude in their lives. For it is always present. For each one has each of these qualities as a part of themselves. For God is each one. God is in each one. God acts through each one. And so each one has all that they need. And each one knows that they can focus their attention, and collapse the field, and bring into their experience that which they desire in the moment. This is true for each one. And any beliefs and any thoughts that might interfere with that might put a block to that, are hereby dissolved with the power of this word. And each one has the ability and the wherewithal to create in their lives what they would love to experience. I am grateful for this truth, and I release this law knowing it is true and it is done. And so it is.
So it is.
Many pray a long way. They don't stop to wonder what the world is coming to. Pray that something higher may feel the way to greater love. Oh yeah, so the world is telling me, sing of liberation for the ones who are not free. Love can take us higher. We feel the way to higher love. Oh yeah, so we let it wash over us. We let it make us kinder. We let it make us better. We let it be. We let it early in the morning. We let it hold us together. We let it down forever. We let it be. We let it. Some cry a long way, walking through this sadness. A world that needs to know love can take us higher, reveal the way to greater love. Oh yeah, so the truth is telling me love's the only answer, and to all humanity we can stay inspired, reveal the way higher love. Oh yeah, so we let it wash over us. We let it make us kinder. We let it make us better. We let it be. We let it early in the morning. We let it hold us together. We let it down forever. We let it be. We let the love wash over us. We let it be. Joy. We let the joy wash over us. Yes, we let it be. We let the peace wash over us. Yes, we let it be. We let it be. The Reverend Dr. Karen Cushman is coming to bring us the word.
The word.
Lots of words.
The word. Now we're talking about the... Okay, so... Don't know all the words to that song, right? Okay, so good morning, everybody out there. Pauline, Deja, Laura from Italy, Deborah, Robert, Angela, oh my goodness, Tina, oh my goodness. All right, so welcome all of you out there. Welcome all of you here. And we are set and ready to enjoy our 2023 year, and that we are expressing in it. And I have been thinking about this idea of being ready and looking at it in my own personal life. And then I realize it's an essential point in spiritual mind healing, in spiritual truth. So I ask you this question, are you ready for your good? As in, if it showed up in front of your face right now, are you ready for it? Or do you have to say, wait a minute, I have to dry my hands, or I need to get things ready. I need to get myself ready. And it's a very subtle point, and you certainly can demonstrate talking with words that have that ing ending, like I am becoming happy, I am moving forward into my greater good, I am preparing to enjoy my good. The ing words will demonstrate in your life, but we are not making the greatest use of spiritual truth when we do that. And I noticed in at least one of my sentences in my opening treatment, I did use an ing word, and I was like, darn! But it wasn't the time to have an argument with myself in front of all of you. And then I was really listening to Mary, and I don't think she did it. Of course, I was in the zone. Her meditation exercise was so good because right? What was she doing? She was saying joy is now, right here, wherever we decide it is. And so we want to realize that when we're talking about God, God's name is, anybody know? God's name is?
I am.
Thank you. I am, and it's long name. I am that I am. God's name is not I am becoming more God. God's name is not I am becoming more loving. God's name, I am not becoming more aware. And so what we want to realize that as human beings, what we tend to do, because we are in this time and space world, is we use our words to describe what we consider to be facts. And the situation right now, in some areas of my life, like if I were to be selling my house, I'm not ready. My bags, that song, I'm leaving on a jet plane, my bags are packed, I'm ready to go. My bags aren't packed. I got a lot of stuff to do. And we're also very aware that as we know truth and it moves through us, it's an experience of becoming, of being changed. So we have this experience and we have this factual world that is changing, that is becoming, and it's a good thing to say things like I say, I am moving from my good to my greater good. It's very good to say that, and I don't mean to stop doing it, but let's add something else to this thought here, because Spirit is only saying, I am that I am. And so in our spiritual mind treatment, or when we are speaking spiritual truth as an affirmation for our lives, we speak from the level of spirit, which is, I am here, now. I am love. I am beauty. I am joy. It is here now. And so we want to claim that for ourselves because it's the spiritual truth of ourselves, and not unconsciously water down our statement of good or delay it. And as a human race, we have an experience of delay. The human race delays. That's why we have traffic. Why do we have traffic? Because everyone in the traffic believes in delay. That's it. Because if there was no consciousness believing in delay, or if you did not believe in delay, you would not be part of the mob waiting in line for whatever to clear up, right? So the consciousness of I am now here. I am my good. My good is here now. I am enjoying my good now. That consciousness does not have delay built into it. And so if there are things that you're waiting for, if there's some good that you've been waiting for a long time, you might want to think about how you are talking about it. You know, I'm working on growing my consciousness to da-da-da-da-da-da, whatever. Yes, we have to deal in this world, and there are steps that we have to do, but this year, we want to be ready for our good when it's manifests. If our good walks in the door, and there's no reason why it should not, we want to be ready for it. Ready means we recognize it. Ready means we invite it in. Ready means we know what to do with it. And so it's not just, let me warn you about not doing this, because I knew a gentleman years ago who was really good at instantaneously demonstrating good. And he told me, he goes, it's now. You've got to emphasize the now. And so he would do this phenomenal treatment, now, now, now. And boom, things would happen immediately. So he was treating to write a play that is made into a movie in Europe somewhere, in Italy or something. Now, 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 now. He was treating that. And that Sunday, which was just like a day or two after he said this to me and he did this treatment, a woman at church who was sitting near him kept looking at him. And afterwards, she invited him to lunch. And she said, you look very, very interesting. Are you a playwright? And he said, yes, I am. And she said, well, I'm a producer and I want to produce a movie in Italy. Can you send me your work? And he's like, sure, whatever. They had lunch, whatever. They talked about these plans, blah, 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 blah. Now, the thing is, even though he was really good at saying now, he had never written a thing in his life. And he had a girlfriend, me, who, when she heard of it, said, I'll help you. I'll help you write this thing. He didn't accept it. And then, so he never worked on it. He never wrote anything. He didn't send anything to this producer. And she started avoiding him after a while because what the heck? So you can have your good pop in your life just like he did, and he did this with all sorts of things. But the thing was, even though he was claiming now, I have it now, he wasn't ready. And so ready is thinking, being, embodying the good equal to the good that we are expecting in our world. So being ready is recognizing it's here now and I am that consciousness, and then simultaneously, lovingly, going through that experience of having to take the steps in case we're missing something. Now, of course, you all know that I'm a big fan of David Allen, getting things done. But he wrote a second book called Ready for Anything. And I added ready for anything good, because I don't want to be ready for anything. I want to be ready for anything good. I want to be ready for that. And so his whole process is really he's talking about having a consciousness that is ready to make a decision when a new idea comes into one's world, that is ready to activate a plan for creating something new, for completing or doing a project or whatever. And so as it's unrolled, I realize that's why I'm like so gung-ho about his whole system, is because I was like, I want to know what that's like. I want to be ready. And I realize that being ready for your good is a matter of fully owning where your consciousness is at, and always ready to handle something new, good, and wonderful into your lives. It's achievable. I believe I'm there as far as stuff goes, as things to do goes, because I'm using a system and I'm using a little app, Todoist. And for me, the combination of that thinking has cleared my mind so that I can always be fully present. But all these things that I want to do, be and become, and that self that I want to be, December 31st, 2023, I have it all in a plan of steps to take, and I am taking the step. So what's the difference if you desire to be a professional basketball player? How does that look now? Well, you practice shooting baskets. And when do you cross that line? I remember when I graduated college, right, bachelor's degree in economics, I was hired for that summer to be an economist on some summer project in Nashua, New Hampshire. And I got hired as the economist, and it was all college graduates. And my roommate, who graduated, she was the sociologist for the project. She and I went shopping at a mall, and we thought we would fill out an application for a charge card for the store that we were at, my first charge card. And it had that question, occupation. And the two of us stood there saying, can we say this? Can I say I'm a sociologist? Can I say I'm an economist? Who decides when you are an adult? Right? Did you remember going through that experience? You were a kid, and then at some point, did somebody decree you are now an adult? You know, did that happen for you? Maybe, and some people had that experience, but I didn't. I remember being married, being an economist, and going, can I say I'm an adult? What's the rule on this? And so in that state of being ready is claiming that you are that. You're not becoming that, you are that. And so even if you're just taking the first steps of learning how to knit, you are a knitter. Even if you are, taking the first steps of being a world traveler, you don't have to move from your house to claim I am a world traveler, right? Because you're starting to take the steps that are needed for you to travel. That's what a traveler does. A traveler prepares. So all of this came out of my conversation with my practitioner this past week, my prayer partner. She's having to get ready for a situation in her home that's going to be occupying all her attention, all of her energy. And so she was saying that she wanted to be prepared and ready for this situation. So she was completing all this stuff and getting ready for the situation to start. And it just broke through me that I had been focusing on that word being complete. I want to be complete. And I realized inside that statement, I am prepared, is completion. That prepared includes being complete. And it's a better word, Because completion is like just about the old. I'm complete with the old. But to have that ready for the new thought, my new statement is, I am prepared and ready for my new good. I am ready for my good. I am ready now. So in the consciousness of absence that Susan was mentioning, that Emma Curtis Hopkins mentions, human race, we do look at the absence of our good. And we live from it, and we think from it. And we say, right, it's nowhere. My good is nowhere, right? But as Mary pointed out, inside that nowhere, right, is, you all know what I'm going to say, right? Do you? Now, here. Contained within the nowhere is now, here. And so what we want to do this day, now, here, is recognize, yes, all God, all spiritual qualities are here now. But we don't need to minimize the tremendous power of claiming here and now in an attempt to describe our current reality so people can understand us better. Our words have power. In the teaching of the science of mind, we have a subjective mind listening to every word we speak and creates it. And so creating a becoming for the subjective mind is not the same as creating it here, now. Becoming. I like it. I like getting created becoming better, becoming healthier. I like that. And I need measurements for it. So I can see it's becoming better. I'm becoming healthier. I'm becoming more organized. I'm getting my act together and I'm taking it on the road. You know, I like that experience, and so I can't deny that, but it's a far cry from I am ready here now for my good. I am ready for the phone to ring and the invitation to be extended. To realize that about yourself. And I as I've sat with this new thought in me about I am prepared, I am ready for my good, I realize that my world and my habits reflect the consciousness of getting ready, not being ready. And so in my reality, there's a whole lot of catching up for me to do physically, task-wise, in order to actually be ready in the reality. But I know that, number one, I can catch up, and it will be easier to be current the more I claim I am ready here and now. But the more that I claim I'm getting ready, which I've been doing for a while, just keeps more things to get ready about, more things to be happening, more things to prepare yourself. So it's a consciousness switch, but you have the level of the absolute behind you, that spiritual truth. I am ready for my good. My good is here now. As Emma claims, right? With whatever situation that shows up in her world, she makes that affirmative statement. This too is God. This too is good. This too is for me. And I demand to see the blessing in it now. Now. I want to see the blessing in it now. And so this year, our focus is on now, here, no delay. Getting healthier is describing a process of becoming. It's good, but it's not the here and now consciousness of health. Judge Thomas Troward writes that our experience of perfect health, as well as our experience of our bodies being renewed and regenerated, as well as the experience of having a bodily expression that is continuously expressing the consciousness of youth, all is using the same spiritual truth, but the difference is in degree. And I was sitting there thinking, okay, I'm pretty healthy. It's been working for me. I'm pretty healthy. But as I read Troward, I realize, wait a minute. There's more. There's more. And so that state of being ready, that state of prepared, that state of I am now, here, all that I would need to be happy, healthy, joyous, a homeowner, whatever. All that is, I am here and now. That consciousness, we haven't even begun to experience what kind of life that might create. Right? Is there anybody here who, is like all caught up? I doubt it, right? Because like attracts like, But all caught up so that you are ready for anything is a state of consciousness. It's not, I think my mother's generation, I think the belief was that when you're all caught up and when you're all ready, what you're ready for is moving on and dying. And my mother did that in her home, right? The year before she made her transition, she put everything in her home in order. A whole year she spent. And then she was done and she was ready to go. And so she left. Okay, but what might a life be like that's already here now to live? What would you be doing? We don't have a clue because we don't have the consciousness for it. We have a consciousness for becoming and getting ready and preparing, right? You have the holidays coming up, so you prepare and you get everything ready and you put it all up, and then the holiday is over, so, right, everything should be getting put away now, right? And so it was like a moment of being, and yet the consciousness of being is always present. In our spiritual mind treatments, it's hard to do this. I find myself sneaking in a little ing word. But the better, more powerful spiritual mind treatments, as I taught every single class that I've ever taught, and as I aspire to, I'm being honest, to say, I am now here, healthy, well, functioning. All bills are paid now. My good is here now. Now I am fully employed in a wonderful experience of sharing the gifts and talents I have now. To make those statements instead of saying right now, the perfect opportunity to prepare me to be blah, blah, blah. It's fine, and it demonstrates, but we could go the final route. There is a difference between being aware of the process that will have to unfold for you to reach your goal and focusing on the goal. It's a different focus in our mind. I am now an amazing rower. I am now enjoying my life completely. I am right here, right now. So to claim that, the reason why, what a practitioner does, this is all we do, right? The client comes to the practitioner with a spot where they believe God is not. Here's a spot. Look, it's a mess here, right? There's a cell that the doctors have found that is not in keeping with what is divinely true. And the practitioner, the only thing that they're doing is recognizing, yes, even here, even now, there is not a spot where God is not. Right there is joy. Right there is love. So that wherever we are seeing the absence, it is merely the absence of the recognition of the I am that I am here now. And so our spiritual mind treatments, which we're going to talk a lot about this year, first 3 steps, God is. Second step, I am. Third step, so right here is. So God is love. I am love. Step 3, this cell is love. That's the 3 steps of spiritual mind treatment as I was taught and as you are taught. That's it. That's it. It's just, as Mary was pointing out, right? You know, the infinite possibilities of floating all around, and I'm zip. You can collapse infinite possibility right here now to be a revelation that God is here now. Do you get it?
Yes.
You get it?
Yes.
Right? So all these wonderful things that we wrote down, we have to be human. But we don't have to identify with humanity's experience and facts. We always have that divine self here now. And we can identify with it, and we definitely want to identify with it when we're doing our spiritual work. When we do a spiritual mind treatment, we are releasing our belief in our humanity. We're not talking about our human experience. We're talking about our divine self and what is true of that divine self. We're not describing facts in a spiritual mind treatment. Spirit does not care about the facts because it's creating the facts, and the facts are always changing. Spirit could care less about it. Spirit is saying, I am that I am. Look at me. Look what I did. And as soon as you do, I did something else. It's in the eternal here and the everlasting now. And so the infinite here and the everlasting now. This is where we operate when we begin to do a spiritual mind treatment. We are claiming that which is always present and that which is making time and space. Time and space is step 3. God is, I am, therefore time and space is. Time and space, see how low it is? So what we want to be thinking about when we begin to do our spiritual mind treatments starting now is, I'm talking from the point of view of that which creates time and space. So there is no becoming. That's in time and space. I'm speaking from that which creates time and space. So there are no rules. No physical rules, time and space. I'm talking about that which creates the physical. No rules, no becoming, no delay, no da-da-da-da. No. And we are describing in that spiritual mind treatment the condition that we want to see at the end of the process. And the law that we release it to takes care of the process. We don't have to. It's not our job. Our job is to know what we want to see created and direct the law to create it with whatever detail that we want to see it created. Like if I want a new car, I get to say what color, if that's important to me, which apparently it is. And a good working condition, you get to say these things, but the law will create that and bring that to you in harmony, perfect right order, divine right action. But it's not our business. Our business is to know, to be the creator. You talk to a sculptor, well, right, Michelangelo, he's like, I'm just revealing something that's already within. Okay, so that's what we're doing, but we get to claim it, okay? So does that make sense? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So,
Absolutely.
okay, but now we got to do it, right? And I have to give a treatment at the end of this. So you'll all be listening to see, is she going to say ing anywhere? Yes, and I want you to listen, and I want you to make a check mark if I do say an ing word. I want, the pressure. Because I want to be a practitioner. I am a practitioner that is recognizing the presence of that divine here, now.
Yes.
Case closed,
Yes.
right? Yes,
So
yes,
good.
yes. That's what it is. Got it. So far, so good. All right. And so as we unfold this year, we'll focus, I think, first of all, on health, and then maybe self-expression. We'll focus on the 4 areas of life: health, wealth, self-expression, and relationships, and get clearer about here, now, in each of those areas, and how to do a really good, really powerful spiritual mind treatment in those areas. Getting clear. See? I'm so human. All right. So having said all that, let's take a moment. I have to get myself together. So Reverend Rich is now singing a song while we prepare for the good here, now.
God is right here where I am. God is where I am. Woo. God is right here. That's, woo. What was I thinking? This note must have been for somebody else. God is right here where I am. God is where I am. God is right here where I am. God is where I am. Protecting and supporting me. God is where I am. Providing all good things for me. God is where I am. There is no place it can't be. God is where I am. There is nothing it can't know. God is where I am. There is nothing it can't do. God is where I am. God is right here where I am. God is where I am. God is right here where I am. God is where I am. But he's not a step and a half higher. Sorry.
Okay, all right. So thank you, Deisha. She's put in our notes there. If you go to our website, CSL Princeton, you can make a contribution, and you can also make a prayer request, treatment request. And so please do that. Our practitioners are eager to serve, are now ready to do a spiritual mind treatment for you, now, no delay. You can make that request now, here. Okay. All right, here we go. In the here and now, right? So this word is being spoken for each one. Right here, right now, one life, that divine life, creating this universe right here, right now. This universe is the divine's creation, perfect in every way. Every detail is intelligent and is now in harmony with every other detail. This is the truth of that universal I am that I am, present in the detail. I am that I am. This is the truth of each one here, now. Each one is a creation of the divine, perfect in every way. According to the divine pattern, each one is health expressed. And that intelligent pattern is now operating through each one. Each one is now experiencing harmony, ease, strength, and flexibility. This divine creator is now knowing the highest and the greatest good for each one. It is now creating the greater good for each one. It is now manifesting in, through, as, and all around each one the greatest possible good now. Now, here. Each one sees it, accepts it, embodies it, allows it, agrees with it, enjoys it, appreciates it. Each one is ready for the good that is now, here. And so each one is seeing this good, is recognizing this good, enjoying this good. Each one is ready for it, prepared for it, welcomes it, and enjoys it. And this word is good. This word is the truth. And right now, I release this word to that law which makes this now. So it is already made and done. And so it is.
So it is now.
Whew! That was rough. Okay? But it can be done. All right. So thank you for coming, and we'll keep moving forward this year. Hello there, Raul. Haven't seen you for a while. Okay. And just in case you didn't know, we do have Spanish on our phone message. We have a Spanish spiritual mind treatment, always recorded. So you can dial 609-924-8422, press 2, and you will hear a special treatment. It's changed every month, so you could do that. All right. So thank you. Hello, Tina. And I think I'm all done with everybody. We're done. Reverend Rich, closing song.
Everybody, no one knows that this is the place of strange noises, especially when you're here alone.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I've been here.
I hear you knocking, whoever you are. I said, Amen. 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 Amen.
All right, see you next week. Okay, bye-bye. Oh, and I will be doing a virtual talk next week. Yes, for those who are interested, it will be about Groundhog Day. Okay, so talk to you next week. Bye-bye.